those who are here in Europe and maybe those in the United States. Good morning. This is the second day of our symposium called Religious Philosophy Between Humanism and Posthumanism.
Musk is this kind of quintessential figure of the present, portrays himself as somebody who's already in the future. But it's not new to the extent that there have been other Musks in the past, and one of the most interesting is Wilhelm Ostwald, and he was a Nobel Prize winner in physical chemistry, German from Eastern Europe, from Riga, and he was also fighting entropy with his innovations. He came up with a theory that he called energetics, energetic, and this was, he left his own discipline of chemistry and went into another realm. And he had an imperative, energetic imperative: don't waste energy, use it. Haeckel really embraced the notion of the consciousness of matter, is known as hylozoism, and he summarized this in his last big publication, which was called Crystal Souls: Studies of Inorganic Life. And in this book, he advocated that there was a soul potential in matter. So matter consisted not only of energy and energy and matter, substance also included soul, and that there's an evolution of soul that goes on in matter.
Instead of anthropocentrism, what I would argue would be a permissible kind of bias towards humans would be a certain kind of love towards humanity, which is not based on rational ethics, broadly speaking. So I think the way we should see our inclination to human solidarity above the solidarity with other beings, either technological or biological, is by likening it to love, which is kind of partial, and you can be aware of it, that it is kind of biased, but it's nevertheless can be a commitment of hope, you see. So on one hand, we have the instinctive roots of humanism, and on the other hand, we have this sort of unfinished project of humanism to really become fully inclusive and so on, and which is then could be linked with such kind of biased love.
So the production and circulation of these tales were modes of understanding the unknown and horrible dark world, a world perhaps full of beasts and monsters, perhaps not, a way of overcoming in our collective mind the resistance of something that possesses power, and a way of establishing man's domination over that something so existentially horrible, which also meant overcoming man's own fears.
Can the computer be a moral agent? And the problem is that anything that we have right now, and this is certainly our lethal autonomous weapons right now, are not cognizant of their decisions. They are not cognizant of their responsibilities or their social role. My feeling is that without that cognizance, then what you have is something that cannot be held responsible. Another really large question that we were just moving into with the question of consciousness, and that is consciousness, as we understand it, coterminous with biological life? Or is it possible to have consciousness outside of biological life? So far, we have only seen biological examples of consciousness, which includes, Pollona's creature. In fact, all of life seems to exist on a continuum of consciousness. So far, we see a type of cognition in machines, but no consciousness.